Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another lecture. In today's class, we are going to start our new chapter, that is the innovation, performance and change management. And before starting our today's topic, that is the Harmon's process metrics, let us first understand few terminologies. All right, these are the few terminologies which we are going to understand that are related to the process improvement. Because if I talk about any business, any organization, the organization or the business, it is basically a collection of different kind of activities. These activities start from raising the funds, raising the capital, then investing in it into the investments, property, plant, equipment, or any kind of venture, purchasing the raw materials, storing them, handling them, then processing them, manufacturing the goods, getting them to the quality check, and then storing them into the warehouse, then again distributing it, and making the sales, and then collecting the receivable. So many kind of activities or many kind of processes are actually being done at the business, and the business is actually the collection of these processes. So a business should always look for the opportunities and always look for the ways through which it can improve its processes. All right, and these are the terminologies that are related to the improvement. So what are they? Number one, we have the business process automation. Number two, business process rationalization. Number three, business process re-engineering. So these are three terminologies, and let us understand and discuss each of them in detail one by one with the examples. So number one, we have conversion of process or activity into automated process or activity using machinery or technology. So if I give you the example that assume that or think about the years, like go 30 or 40 years back. In every organization there used to be a person who has a register, and that person used to record the attendance and time in and the time out of all the employees. All right, it was done manually, and then the data that is stored or recorded into the register, that was used to make the payroll sheet or the salary sheet, and based on that salary sheet or the payroll sheet, the salaries or the remuneration or the compensation, wages, allowances, these were distributed to the employees every month. So the whole process was manual. It was done manual without the use of any kind of technology, any kind of machinery, right? So this we call the manual processes. But the business process automation actually talks about that now you're going to convert your manual process to the automated process. Let me give you the example that same thing. The person is recording the attendance in the register, all right, and then this register is used, this data is used to make the payroll or the payroll sheets or HR related data, whatever kind of summary you are going to make or what kind of report you are going to make, it is going to be made from the register manually. All right. Now you introduce you can say software or technology, or you can say a kind of system. All right, now that system is going to you're going to input the data from the register into the system, like you are going to make the entry at the end of every day. All right, and at the end of the month you will get a prepared salary sheet from the system, prepared HR analysis, prepared HR reports, everything you're going to get it from the system. What you just need to do, you have to just put the data manually into it. So now you automated the processing part of the data, all right, using the technology, and that is what we call the business process automation. So now you automated a business process. Similarly, we have an example that like for example, in your manufacturing facility, there used to be a worker who used to carry out your production of the manufacturing process. Now you installed a machinery or the plant that is going to carry out your manufacturing or the production. So that is called the business process automation. That you are moving from the manual processes to the automated processes. Now next we have the business process rationalization. Rationalization. What it is? The automated processes activities are improved using latest machinery or the technology as a part of continuous improvement. So we all know that it's always a changing environment. uh, Companies, environment, they are evolving, they are growing. So you have to keep up with them and you have to grow along with them. All right. So even if you have automated a process or activity, already it's automated, right? But still, you know that with the passage of time, with the change in technology, with the change of world and the change of environment, you will have to either improve the automation or you can go towards advanced automation. Let me give you an example. For example, the same example of the HR or the payroll thing, right? So there was a person who was recording all the employees data when they are coming, when they are going, and if they are coming or not, attendance and the time in time out. This was done manually, but the processing part was shifted to the automation, right? But now, how about you would have seen this in many organizations that at the entrance of any company there is a finger scanner or the face scanner who actually recognizes the employee's identity through the fingerprints or the face recognition. And on that time, the actually the attendance is being recorded through the system or the scanning machine or the sensor machine, right? So rather than putting someone in place to record the attendance of the people manually, what you did, you actually install a machinery or the device or the technology is going to record this thing as well. So now even the recording part you shifted it to the automation. So that is what we call the business process rationalization. So that because you already automated the process at somewhat level, but now you're going towards the advanced automation, or you're going to enhance your automation with the latest technology or the modern technology. All right. For the manufacturing facility example, take this as obviously there have to be humans who are going to use the plant and the machinery which are going to produce the goods and materials. How about if I introduce the robot on the manufacturing facility? All right. So in this way, I'm doing the business process rationalization, that my business process is already automated. And now I am going towards the advanced automation and I'm going to improve the automation with the latest and the modern technology. Then we have the business process re-engineering. So, before explaining this thing, let me, tell you that what do we mean by engineering. So the engineering means constructing something, all right, constructing something from zero, all right. So now fundamental restructuring and radical redesigning of the process in order to achieve dramatic result. It can also called clean sheet approach, as processes are redesigned from the scratch. So now you get the idea that engineering means developing or constructing someone from the zero. But what about the re-engineering? So re-engineering means demolishing something that is already being developed. All right, demolish it and then reconstruct or redesign something from the scratch. All right, and that is what we call the business process re-engineering. Because in this kind of category, you're going to demolish or completely swipe out your existing processes or the existing methods, and you're going to introduce the altogether new processes and the methodologies. It is also called the clean sheet because you first clean the floor, clean the sheet, that whatever the processes were, leave them, forget them. Now we are going to introduce the new processes. So now let's move on to our main topic, that is the Harmon's process strategy matrix. All right. So it's a very easy and again a very important, right? It's easy, but it's important as well. So what it is, the Harmon's process strategy matrix, it helps us to bifurcate the processes into four categories in order to prioritize them based on their importance and complexity. So, the main thing, if you would ask me that, sir, what is the objective of this model and in which scenario we are going to use it? So, when you have multiple processes or the multiple tasks, all right, and you need to find out that which tasks are my priority, which tasks need my focus, which tasks need my attention, my resources, and, my time. So Harmon's process matrix is going to help you because it helps you to prioritize the task or the processes or the activities, right? And so what is the criteria, like how it prioritize them? What are the bases? So the bases are two, right? We have two bases. Number one is the importance and the complexity. So you are going to check that, if there is a process, all right, you're going to check that is the complexity of the process is high or is it low, or the importance of the process, is it high or is it low, or any task or any activity. So you are going to evaluate or you are going to prioritize the business process or the activity or the task based on these criteria, and we are going to discuss how we are going to do. All right, but before looking at this matrix, let me first explain you something more important, that, sir, complexity, we all know, the criteria of the complexity, it's simple, that we are going to see that how much complicated, how much technical, and how much complex the task is. All right, that's very simple. But how are we going to evaluate that whether or not the task is important to us or is it not important to us, right? So here is the criteria, that you are going to check that whether or not your task is strategically important to you or not, right? If it is strategically important, it has a high importance. All right. If it is not strategically important for you, then you will say that this task is of a low importance for me. But now, sir, how are we going to see that how it is basically strategically important for us? So, for any task, for any activity, for any process to be strategically important for us, it has to have a direct impact or the effect on number one, revenue, number two, your competitive edge, number three, your customer market share. So, these are the one, two, three things. If your task, if your activity, if your process is having a direct or indirect effect on your revenue, on your competitive edge, or on your market share or customer, then this task, this activity, or this process is important to me. It is strategically important to me, because these are the main things on which my business is existing. If any of them would, fumble or would go, my business cannot survive. So these are strategically important for me. All right. And on the other end, some tasks like, back office things in which we do some support level task or the activities, or if I talk about the supportive functions such as, accounting department, or you can say maybe any cost center, or you can say a treasury department. So these are not basically related to your revenue, competitive edge, or the market share, right? So these are the areas or the tasks or the processes that are strategically low importance for you. But these three are actually high. So whenever you are going to evaluate it, whether the task is important for me or is it not, just ask yourself that is this thing going to affect my revenue, competitive edge, or the customer or the market share. If your answer is yes, then that task is important. And if it is no, then that task has a low importance for you. So now let's come back to the Harmon's process metrics core area. So one by one, we are going to check all the possibilities that, for example, if I'm saying that, sir, if my task has low importance, if my task has low importance, all right, and also the complexity is low, of low importance, all right, strategically it's not important for me, and also the task is not that much complicated, it's a very straightforward or routine nature task. So Harmons tell you that you're going to, you can outsource this task, that you don't need to waste your time on it, right? Since it's not strategically important for you, and it's not also complex, so just outsource it to someone and free up yourself so that you can focus on your core activities. All right, and also what you can do, you can automate the task using the off the shelf software. Did you guys notice one thing in these two bullets of the points? But I did. I noticed one thing, that this, are you now able to recall something? Remember that I told you that uh, there are two types of software: bespoke software and the off the shelf software. I told you that the bespoke software has the capability that it can give you the competitive edge. All right. And the off-the-shelf software, they are not able to give you the competitive edge. And similarly, if I talk about the importance thing, it does talk about the competitive edge, right? See here, in importance, we have the competitive edge criteria. We have the competitive edge criteria. So since it's a low importance task, it's a low importance task category, so we are going to use the off-the-shelf software because we don't want to, or we are not going to get the competitive edge from this task or this process. So that's why we are going to use the off-the-shelf software for automation if we are going to do in this category. All right. I hope that it is clear. Now, once it is clear, let us see the other probability. So, what are the other probability? So, the other probability is that, for example, the importance of the task is low, but now the task is complex. It's highly complex. It has technicalities, it has complexities, and it is complex, right? What to do? Simple. Number one, outsource. Why, sir? Why outsource? What the thing about it? Because it's not important to me. I'm not going to waste my time into it. I'll outsource it simply. But since it's a complicated task, so you cannot outsource it to anyone. All right, you have to make sure that you are outsourcing it to the specialized vendor so that you get the quality output or the quality services. For example, let's say you are purchasing a website services from some vendor, right? Or you can say a marketing services, or maybe you are just displaying your product on someone else's website. All right, and it's not your core activity. Let's say your core business is of the physical sales, the online sales or the e-marketing. It's not your core strategy. It's not going to increase your revenues too much in this example only, right? It's not going to give you the competitive edge, or it's not going to give you increase your customer share or the market share. So this is a low importance task for me. But when maintaining the website and displaying the products and updating them regularly, these are complex tasks, right? So for that, you will go towards the specialized and the experienced vendor so that you get the good quality of the services, because it's complex. If you would go and outsource it to anyone else, they might not be able to deliver you the basic type of services, right? So you have to be very careful about it. Then, sir, what we have the other. So the other thing is that if your importance is high, your task has the direct impact on your revenue, competitive edge, customer, or the market share. Task is very straightforward, it's very easy. So then, automate it if it is manual. That's the first thing we are going to do, because if something is manual, try to automate it. Why? Because it has the importance to you, right? Otherwise, if it didn't have the importance, we would have said that just leave it, outsource it. But since it is important, do it yourself. Because it is important, you have to do it yourself. Go for the process rationalization, sir. Make us something, some kind of link so that we can remember this thing. See, if it is manual, automate it. If it is already automated, go for the rationalization. See the terminologies. That is why I explained these terminologies at the start of the lecture. So yeah, if it is manual, automated. If it is automated, go for the rationalization. Involve bespoke software. Since its importance is high, it is going to give you the competitive advantage. It will have an effect on your revenues, market share, and the competitive advantage. So then it is very much mandatory for you to opt for the bespoke software in order to automate it, right? Then, for example, if your task has the high importance and also the high complexity, both are the thing high. So that's the first priority for me. That's second priority for me. That's third, and that's the fourth priority for me. All right. So what are you going to do for this category? Because both importance and the complexities are high. Number one, automate it. Number two, if it is already automated, rationalize it. Go for advanced automation, new technology, modern technologies. Involve bespoke software, and also hire the best resources. What do you mean by this? For example, if you are let's say Google, all right, or you are Apple, so and you are providing the Google Drive services or the Apple iCloud services to your users, and it's your main business, it's your core activity, it's important for you. all right, and obviously it's complicated thing. We have to take care about many things. We've studied this in our previous chapter as well. So, for that, you need the expert professionals in your organization who can carry out the task and the activities in a professional, in a, good quality or the good manner. So for that, it is very important for you, because since it's important and as well as it's complex, so you need the best resources who can do it in a better way, in a efficient way, and in a good manner, right? So this was the Harmon's process metrics. I hope that I was able to explain each and every concept of it. Right. See you all in the next lecture. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.